Alright, we're going to have a look at game Mumbai City against Kerala Blasters. If we look at the formations, both teams basically line up in the same formation, a 4-2-3-1. That is also for Kerala. But if you look at the table since yesterday, you can see Mumbai City made the best start ever in their history, and Kerala Blasters did exactly the opposite, had the worst start in their history. I'm gonna look into basically Kerala Blasters the most because Mumbai City, what you gonna say? They had a great start. They have a very low amount of goals against them and a high amount of goals scored. So it's not. You can analyze what is still going wrong there, but overall what I want to look at is Kerala Blasters, and that is the following. But before we do so, Mumbai scored 13 goals, and from those 13 goals, 31% is from open play, that means from build-up, 38% from transition, and 31% from set pieces, so it's pretty evened out. That is also defensively, basically only 3 goals conceded, only open play, transition and set pieces, so that is basically evened out. If we look at the Kerala Blasters, we look at the following. They had 13 goals conceded, and 50% of them are from open play and 42% from transitions. Now, what does that picture paint you? Because you can always paint a picture over a longer period of time. The way you concede goals, open play is basically your defensive organization behind the ball, and transition means your defensive organization when you lose the ball. These can be very silly mistakes, but they can also be that you're not well organized the moment you attack. And they had only 8% goals against them from set pieces. So the clear picture here is, if you concede 13 goals, that their defensive organization is not great. While overall, I hear in the media and before the season started that they had a great defensive block in the back, but somehow, and I see that many times with attacking teams or teams that try to attack defensively, they are not that well organized at the moment they lose the ball. So if we look at the goals scored, these are 8. Only 14% is from open play. A team that supposed to be playing attacking football, a lot of it is in own half, or till now it's not entering the final third. That can be read out of these statistics. 29% is in transition, but the biggest part is just from set pieces. So both ways, the team is underperforming. Although last game they said it was great, and there was the game before the same, after 8 games or 9 games, keep on saying that we need time. But if you compare it to other teams who have the same situation, there also has to be some justification of what's happening on the field. We can keep on saying that it is great and we had chances, but and we have to solve the silly mistakes. We cannot keep on saying that. Till now I didn't do an analysis too much on Kerala Blasters because it will come across as bad because I worked there last year, but these are simply the facts. If you look at the 1-0, and this is what I want to point out, I'm not going to analyze the whole game, I just want to point out the mistakes that I saw till now, and they were reflected in, for instance, the 1-0. And I saw that over many games. You can see here the ball is played into Vicente Gomez, who is a good player, but I saw many times in other games also losing easy balls in your own half or in areas where you should not lose the ball. Even that was also with Sido. You see that sometimes with Sahel. They have overall Kerala Blasters, they lose many times the ball. That does not mean that every time it's going to be a goal, but many times you see counter attacks being placed against them because they lose easy balls, and that is something, a responsibility for the team management to change or to get that organized, because that is eventually key. We cannot keep saying we make easy mistakes, but that's why you recruit your team, and they had a better team than last year, as I have to believe the critics. So you don't lose those easy balls. From that comes a counter attack. That ball is placed into the box and we get a penalty. We can discuss if it was a penalty. It was a light penalty, if you ask me, a soft penalty. But the second penalty was 100% one, and the other one against Bomos was even not given. So overall, and that is for all the teams the same, for me it's more about how Kerala gets those chances, or in this case those goals against them. I'm not going to reflect on the referee, because that is for many teams the same thing. The 2-0, this is, I will keep it a bit polite, but I never have seen a goal scored as long as I'm a coach from the box, your own box. It's completely organized. It's a situation is standing still, so there's time enough to organize, and the ball is played from this area, in this case from the penalty area box of the defensive team, where we look at the following. So this ball is played forward, so it takes a long time to play forward. You have a lot of time to organize. Now we look at the offensive line, and it doesn't matter who's filling in those positions, and then the middle line, and then the defensive line. The spaces between them are huge, and what I look at is the two center backs, in this case for Kerala. They are completely exposing the striker, Lefondre and Bomos, and in one pass he just goes to the goal. This is very, very poor defending. I cannot make anything out of it. This is objectively, I cannot remember in my history see a goal scored like that. That is poor defending. I cannot make anything else out of it. And then it's 2-0. But then even in the last 15-20 minutes of the first half, and I will illustrate what I see in many games of Kerala, and it doesn't mean that every time you lose the ball it's going to be a goal, but it's a pattern that I can see, and I could show that in other games. Here Kerala catches up the ball, they right away play the ball into the striker. A big positive, by the way, is the striker, Murray. I think he does better than Hooper. It's a little more lively, he lines up more, he connects more with the other players. But you can see here he has time to turn. This is one of the things for Mumbai. I think they should organize this better, but we leave that aside now. This ball is played, and what is key now is here the right center back Singh is going into the attack. Putia, the right winger, is going in the attack. That is all great, but what do you leave behind? You see here 5 players of Kerala in attack, so that means in the back the right center back Singh left, so that means somebody is taking his position. In this case that should be Nishu, but that means the right wing back position is open, and this is what I call rest defense. And because they lose the ball, that ball can right away be played into the player on the side. I don't know who catches up. You see here Jackson has to now step out of the midfield. You can see Nishu took over the position of Singh, who went forward, but the right wing back position is not occupied. Jackson has to start stepping out. Now Bipin Singh will go into the corner, so your whole defense is exposed. But still in that transition you see how Bomos and Lefondre are completely free, and this should be a goal. Now my point is this: in the last 15 to 20 minutes of the first half, Mumbai could have easily finished it in 3-4-0, and then the only thing that what I saw is in the second half is that overall Mumbai was a bit arrogant in the way they played. They lost a few times easy balls, and from that Kerala created chances. Now the big positive for Kerala that I have to give them is the work ethic. All players did a tremendous work, and they did it also in the last game. But if I look at the tactics, offensively they are not performing as they should, and defensively I showed you where I think are their main areas, and you could see that over all the games it comes every time down to the same problem. All right, I will see you at the next one.